right, we are back again for the second stream of the evening. This is following up on the To Be Frank show. And I see Wolf in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a smaller channel, so it's a more cozy conversation. And it'll be kind of bouncing in and out between stories until we kind of hit a brick wall, and then I fall over dead, and then we'll call it a night, I guess. I'm not gonna. This shouldn't. I don't think this stream will be that long today. We'll just see. I'm just gonna jump from story to story, and these will be my first time reading them, first time reacting to it, and just kind of having a little bit of fun with it. So, welcome to the stream. So this is our headline story. This is from the Post Millennial. They write, Illinois cop authorized to carry gun. So a police officer is arrested by ICE for 10-year visa overstay. Meaning, Bojovic, this cop, this guy right here, he was in the country illegally. And yet he had a job as a police officer. Why does this keep happening? How does this keep happening? Oh, that's right. We have political activists running states actively trying to protect these people so that they can stay illegally, to give them jobs, all in the hopes of eventually turning them into citizens for consuming their votes. ICE, Post-Millennial Rights, has arrested an illegal immigrant in the Chicago area who was serving as a local police officer in Chicago. Radule Bojovic was taken into custody as part of the ongoing Operation Midway Blitz. No wonder the cops are not trying to help ICE. No wonder they're actively trying to work against ICE. They have non-citizens in their ranks, and you better believe it's probably well known inside the institution, inside the police departments, that they have non-citizens there. I mean, maybe nobody knew, but something tells me that's not true. Radule enforcing the law while breaking others. Classic. Per Real America's Voice, an illegal immigrant from Montenegro was arrested on October 15th in the Chicago suburb of Hanover Park. Bojovic reportedly overstayed his B-2 visitor visa and had been required to leave the country by March 31st in 2015, but did not. Instead, he was rewarded and given a job as a police officer using his brand of justice against citizens of the United States. How ass backwards can you possibly be? This is how we got to the point where people said, you know what, we don't care how much Trump says things that are not polite and nice. We want Orange Man Bad back because of this crap. Bojovic, they write, provided his employment identification card to authorities upon his arrest, which confirmed that he was a member of the Hanover Park Police Department. He also told authorities that he had no weapons on him, but was authorized to carry a firearm while on duty. Now, I also think, by the way, that non-citizens should never be allowed to be police officers. I don't care if they are in the country legally or not. Same thing for running for office of any kind. I don't care if it's dog catcher. If you are not a citizen of this country, you should have no business running anything that might affect U.S. citizens anywhere, period. But of course, they gave him a job as a cop. Let's see. Now, ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Chicago Field Office Director Sam Olson said in a statement that illegal aliens are prohibited from owning or possessing firearms, full stop. This is the second known instance in recent months of a local police department hiring an illegal alien and unlawfully issuing him a firearm while on duty in violation of federal law. You need to go after these police departments. Heads need to roll for this. You need to make these police departments have the fear of God that they are going to get busted and bad things are going to happen if they are doing this, if they are hiring non-citizens as police officers. It's insane. Sam Olson went on to say that it is alarming how local jurisdictions continue to disregard federal law to the detriment of their communities. Now, over the summer, another illegal immigrant who obtained a job as a police officer agreed to leave the country voluntarily after being detained by ICE. That was Jon-Luke Evans, a Jamaican national who had been employed as a reserve officer with the Old Orchard Beach Police Department in Maine, per the WMTW. Evans was taken into custody in July after the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives told ICE that Evans had attempted to purchase a gun. ICE said that Evans lawfully entered the country at the Miami International Airport in Florida on September 24th, 2023, but did not leave the country 1 week later when he was scheduled to depart and overstayed his visa. And why do you think this kind of stuff happens? Well, let's see. There's never been accountability. The Democrat Party, the radical lunatic left, and their complicit allies in the Rhino Republican branch for a lot of the last 2 decades, last 20 years, has actively worked to keep them here, to protect them, to give them leeway to stay, because the goal was inevitably to give them amnesty. Make no mistake about it, that is what this was all about. But in this case, the Trump administration is saying, nah, fam, that's not fine, and hold my beer, we're going to go find these illegal cops. But the question, of course, arises is how many other people who are non-citizens are in positions of power affecting Americans' lives? So not just here infesting the country, but also illegally running Americans' lives. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about this. It's so maddening. And yet this is just par for the course. But there needs to be some kind of accountability for these police departments. I don't know how or what you would do here, but something needs to happen. It remains to be seen if anything will. Richard High just released a video 3 to 4 hours ago on Chicago ignoring 911 calls. I wonder if he brings any of this up. Yeah, I mean, they were... Yeah, with that stand-down order where the cops were told not to help the ICE agents, you have to wonder now, are there other illegal aliens infesting the police department in Chicago and in Illinois? We don't know. This is dangerous stuff. I mean, the next thing you know, you're going to have members of Congress who will have illegal aliens in their staff. In fact, I think that might actually have already happened. Let me double check this. I think that actually may have already happened. Just going to have to check this real quick because I could have sworn that I saw a story a while back. Okay, no verified cases. You had people that had hired illegal aliens but not in their staff. Okay. Still, you have to wonder. You have to wonder. Let's see. And I saw this as well. So, Donald Trump recently announced that they're going to make IVF easier for women to get. This was a shock announcement.
We're here today to announce a historic victory for American women, mothers, and families. With the actions I will outline this afternoon will dramatically slash the cost of IVF and the treatment and many of the most common fertility drugs. For countless millions of Americans, prices are going way down. Here's American couple.
You know, on paper it sounds good, and you know, cheaper medical everything is good, I guess. But it's also the thing that we use to seduce women into focusing more on careers and just keep putting off the family until inevitably it becomes too late. Because IVF there's a low success rate with it. Now, if it's cheaper, you know, you get more chances at it, I guess. But it's painful. It's not fun. But we gaslight women into saying, hey, screw the children. You can always do it when you're 40, when you're 45, maybe someday 60. Who knows? But, on the other hand, it's nice to make it cheaper in general because the prices on IVF are insane.
People struggling with infertility have faced crushing costs in their quest to start a family, and IVF is among the most expensive treatments of all. A single round of IVF in the United States can cost up to $25,000, can actually go a lot higher than that. And many couples require multiple rounds for a successful pregnancy. A major reason for these high prices is the excessive cost of the drugs involved. The number one fertility drug used in IVF is currently 700% more expensive in the United States than the rest of the world. And, you know, we're ending all of that.
We do love having high, expensive medical costs here. And it never seems to end until the Trumpster, I guess.
It's called Favored Nations, and we're ending it. That's why today I'm pleased to announce that after extensive negotiations, EMD Serrano, the largest fertility drug manufacturer in the world, has agreed to provide massive discounts to all fertility drugs.
I don't know why these little eyes behind the shoulder are... I don't know. It's just distracting me here.
They sell in the United States, including the most popular drug of all, the IVF drug, Gonal-F. So it's Gonal-F. As part of this agreement, EMD Serrano will list their fertility drugs online at trumprx.gov at very, very heavily reduced prices that you won't even believe. Also taking...
So it's a win for the working woman. And it was Donald Trump that brought it, not the Democrat Party, despite the millionaires and billionaires Bernie types.
Historic steps to vastly expand access to insurance coverage for fertility care, including IVF, something that, as you know, was not covered. Effective immediately, for the first time ever, we will make it legal for companies to offer supplemental insurance plans specifically for fertility. That's never been done before. We're signing it in today with what we sign. Americans will be able to opt in to specialized coverage just as they get vision and dental insurance. They're going to get fertility insurance for the first time. This will make all fertility care, including IVF, far more affordable and accessible. And by providing coverage at every step of the way, it will reduce the number of people who ultimately need to resort to IVF because couples will be able to identify and address problems early. The result will be healthier pregnancies, healthier babies, and many more beautiful American children. It's a big factor. It's a big deal.
I mean, it's good. We got to find a way to prop up our fertility. But to be frank, if you want to have more children, you need to incentivize having kids at an earlier age. But at least it's good to give older women a chance to still have children without breaking the bank. So, it's a win-win, I guess. But long term, if you want to have a rebound in childbearing here in the U.S., which we desperately need, you need to incentivize women having children at an earlier age, which means you need to shore up marriage, because marriage laws are garbage. Divorce laws are garbage. And you're seeing marriage down to, I think it's a 5.1 or 6.1 per 1,000 now of people getting married in the U.S., which is some of the lowest it's ever been in American history. And that is unsustainable for a country to have child growth. So who knows?
I'm asking all employers to make these new fertility benefit options available to their employees immediately.
So there you go. That's the Trump announcement for his next, I guess, executive order. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. So who knows? I mean, it'll be good. And I find it ironic because you would think this would have been something that the Democrat Party would have championed while they had the President Vegetables in there, Joe Biden. But they just kind of let it fester out there. Because, if you're pushing in the name of feminism for more women to work, that's fine. But then you need to find ways to make sure that you can still have children, have it all, right? And you would think that this would have been something that the Democrat Party would have been all over. But like with so many promises that they've made, they never really deliver. So hopefully this means that more women will have children later in life. But again, there's not a guarantee if you wait too long. Once you become geriatric, levels of pregnancy, even with IVF, there's no guarantee you're going to have children. and we've seen this, and as you can see, a little Jennifer Aniston here. She waited till it was too late, and even with IVF, even with all her wealth, she was unable to reproduce and have her own kids because she waited too long. In fact, she lost out on a marriage, I think, because the guy was like, I need to have kids, and I'm out. So, she had a chance when she was younger. But, career was more important. So, didn't happen for her. Very sad. Let's pull up, let's see, the Daily Mail. We got the Karen. And I think just because I'm doing 2 back-to-back streams, I'm going to keep the stream relatively short today, but I'm going to try to extend these more and more. It's just, it's kind of hard to kind of go back-to-back on both of these things, and I'm not used to doing it, but the more I do this, the easier it'll be, and the longer we'll go and have more fun. So this was the Karen who decided to go on a racist rant towards a war veteran at a Dodgers game. Let's see if they have the clip.
Oh, why is everybody quiet? Why is everybody quiet? Why is everybody quiet? What is this? I'm sorry.
You know what? Let's call ICE.
Call ICE. Call ICE. I'm a U.S. citizen. We're veteran, baby girl. We're veteran. 2 wars. ICE is not going to do nothing to me. Good luck. Good luck.
And she had to hit him for good measure. Why is it that everyone with this Karen hair, why is it that they're so violent and vile? How does it happen? Is there like a collective meeting of the minds to do the weird Bob thing and, let me speak to your manager and then hit people when you don't get your way? How does that happen?
Good luck. Call ICE. Call him. Call him. Fucking idiot.
So that was the Karen. And so a Milwaukee, this is from the Daily Mail, Brewers Karen, who went viral, which we just saw, after threatening to call ICE on a rival Los Angeles Dodger fan, has reportedly been fired from her job. Oh no! The Spectator, named online as Shannon Kobliarski, was seen in a racist rant towards Ricardo Fosato, a U.S. citizen and war veteran, in footage that has been viewed more than 1 million times on X. During Dodgers' 5-1 win in the Major League playoffs, a gloating Fosato can quite initially be heard saying to the home fans around him in the stands, "Why is everyone so quiet? What is this?" His remark appeared to clearly irk the Brewers Karen, who fired back with a jibe about Donald Trump's immigration agents, saying, "Let's call ICE." Oh, you sweet summer child. Sometimes it's better just to shut your pie hole and not say anything. Now, according to Fox 11 Los Angeles, it took less than 24 hours for the woman in question to be fired from her employer's Manpower Group, a global workforce solutions company, after being identified. And I guess here's the guy that was taunting the fans. On the original Instagram post by Savage Cycles 87, which shared the video and named the alleged culprit, Manpower Group replied in the comments to confirm the employee in question had been fired. They said, as soon as we became aware of this video of the individual was placed on immediate leave and we began an investigation. As a result of this process, the employee is no longer with the organization. We remain committed to maintaining a culture grounded in respect, integrity, and accountability. Well, that's corporate speak for sure. Now, the Karen, Shannon, appears to have deleted her LinkedIn and Facebook pages. Well, yeah, at this point, she's getting canceled. Better to try to limit and mitigate the damage, right? Her pages amid the outrage over her disgusting tirade. Fox 11 also claims she resigned as a board member of the Wisconsin branch of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Ouch. Sometimes you got to resist the urge to put on the Karen hat. Just let it go. Fosato, who has worked as a chief executive for general contractor company Foxtrot Construction, told the news station that I think she just let out her true colors, let herself let out baseball and took it out of the cheering into some more personal level. Well, now let's be a little bit fair to the Karen. While she was being a giant bitch, he was also being a dick to the fans. He was trying to get a reaction. I just don't think he thought it would take that direction. Now, he also claimed that he and his friend were ejected from American Family Field in Milwaukee over the dispute, meaning they missed the last 3 innings of the game. Well, again, you're picking a fight with fans. Just because someone then does a racism on you doesn't mean that you're excused for picking a fight with fans. Just saying. But of course, they're complaining. He said, my friend asked, why am I getting kicked out? What did my friend do? Why are we getting escorted out? And the only reason they gave anybody is because we're Dodger fans. The original Instagram post appeared to be shared by the friend in question. Well, yeah, again, you're instigating anger in the stands. Yes, she's a giant bitch. Probably got what she deserved, but at the same token, you're instigating a fight. It's like starting a fight in a nightclub and somebody pulls out a gun and shoots at you. Yeah, that's a bridge too far, but you also started a fight. Now, along with the viral clip, they also shed light on their shocking altercation with the Brewers' Karen. The guy says, my friend is a proud Dodgers fan and a 2-time U.S. war veteran, was simply cheering for his team when a woman in the crowd turned around and told him real men drink beer, and then unbelievably, she told her husband, let's call ice on him. Oh, come on. She was trying to taunt him. She was trying to find a way to get back at him, and she chose his race, which was a really, 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 really stupid and bad decision, indicative of the Karenocracy. Anyway, the friend said, this kind of racism and ignorance is no place anywhere. Not at a baseball game, not in our communities, and not in our country. My friend has served this nation with honor, yet he was treated with hate and disrespect just because of how he looks. No. If we're being fair here, he got that kind of response because he was trying to pick a fight with other fans to taunt them. I'm just saying. Now, to make matters worse, the woman actually slapped him. Yep, another bridge too far by the Karen there. No one should ever face harassment or violence because of the race, ethnicity, or background. I'm sharing this because racism is still happening No, you just wanted clicks. I'm sharing this because racism is still happening every day, even in places that should bring us together like a ball game. We need to speak up when we see it. Silence only helps hate. Please share and repost this so more people can see that this behavior is unacceptable. The more we speak up, the sooner we can stop racism and hate in our communities. And to top it all off, he got kicked out for calling her an idiot. Let's find out who she is so she can learn how to respect. No offense here, but they should probably ban these 2 people from the park. I'm just saying. Her for being a racist a-hole and him for being an instigator. You don't want that in a public space when you're trying to have sports where people can enjoy themselves. If you're going to pick a fight, you probably need to go too. Now, this comes after a month after the infamous Phillips Karen went viral after the Karen there was filmed arguing with a fellow supporter over a home ball run. The woman was then booed out of the Phillies-Marlins game on September 5th and was slammed on social media. So there is our little story about the Karen causing chaos at a Milwaukee game. All right. Well, let's see. See if I've got energy for one more here. Let's slide over to. Let's see. I guess we can kind of touch on this briefly. I don't want to get too detailed about it today. I might do a longer video on this later. But as I was mentioning on To Be Frank earlier about this, the other channel I have here, essentially Hamas is going to try to complicate things with this peace process, and they've been killing other Palestinians. So now that they don't have to worry about the troops of Israel coming in to kill them, they're now turning their weapons against their own people to maintain power. And they're attempting to make sure that they remain in power no matter what happens in this peace process. And so Trump is now warning Hamas that they will resume the attacks against them if terror group continues to kill people in Gaza. President Donald J. Trump sent a strong message to Hamas Thursday, threatening to go in and kill Hamas militants if the group continues attacks in Gaza. He said, if Hamas continues to kill people in Gaza, which was not the deal, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them. And he said, thank you for your attention to this matter. The move comes after Hamas was seen on video publicly executing opponents in Gaza City main square despite Trump's peace plan. Gazans previously told Fox Digital Hamas fighters were reappearing in the streets and reasserting control, having issued an ultimatum giving Israeli collaborators until Sunday to surrender and seek amnesty. So, rather than fighting the Israeli troops, they were hiding like the little bitches and cowards they were, and now that they are able to see the sun again, now they're going to go kill their own people to try to remain in power and use their terror against their own citizens, so that eventually they may once again try to wield death and destruction against Israel somewhere down the road. And Trump is saying, nah, fam, that's not going to happen, and if they don't do something about it, I'm going to have someone hold my beer even though I don't drink, and we're going to go wipe them out. So I'll probably do something more in-depth on this on another day. But for now, I'm going to end it here. We're going to keep this stream a little bit shorter today just because I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. But I wanted to get some streaming back on Topical Umbrella, and we're going to try to do this 5 days a week. I kind of mix this into my rotation. But again, as always, my friends, thank you for joining me. Thanks to everyone in the chat. And I see Wolf is here. And everyone else that's tuning in to watch. And as ever, always thank you guys for being here. And yeah, I will catch you all in the next stream. So hopefully I will see you all tomorrow.